I have had to rebuild my digestion from scratch many times, like 21-day water fast. That pretty much killed everything. My 8.5-day dry fast, 90-day juice fast. I just did a round of antibiotics, so I know a thing or two about luring critters from the forest into my gut. I got a couple questions about microbiome. How do you rebuild it? Is Candida an issue with fruits?
What if you prayed to God to make it through the hardest part instead of starting over like too many are?
So if you ever have a question, post it on down below. I might know the answer, or at least have several more questions for you to ask. Proper questions. I'm a guru in some cultures. I've eaten raw pig intestines to get trichinosis to heal my digestion. Have you done that? No. That's why I'm the master here. So first question was, could you make a video about rebuilding your gut bacteria after finishing up your antibiotics? I'm just beginning to learn about probiotics and eating unprocessed foods to help the microbiome. I'd be curious to see what your plans are. And the other question was, if one has Candida, what would be the best diet or things to avoid? We'll tackle both of those today. So I feel like my digestion is back to normal already, maybe 2.5 weeks after the antibiotics. It took a little while. There was some scary moments where, like, initially I was like, no gas whatsoever. And then I started getting crazy sulfur gas after I stopped the antibiotics for a little bit. And so I've made some tweaks. That's all disappeared. Things are nice now, calm and happy. So here's the deal. Probiotics are not your focus. Focus on the prebiotics. You want to feed bacteria. You don't take two scenarios. A guy who eats fast food every day but supplements probiotics versus a raw vegan hippie who eats raw vegetable matter and fruits but no probiotics. Who's gonna have the better microbiome at the end of the 1-month trial that I conducted? And they both died in the end, but that's fine. It's the raw vegan hippie. You really just want to feed them fiber. That's what they want. I get carnivores all the time saying, humans don't produce cellulase. You idiot. Why are you eating fiber? It just passes through you. No, it doesn't, does it? It stops off at the corner store where microbiomes live. And they're like, thank you for that. I'll eat some of that. Chew, chew. Here you go. Here's nutrients. Do you want some B vitamins? Do you want butyric acid? That can help heal your colon. Do you want short chain fatty acids? Here you go. Here's all this stuff, gifts for you. So it's like good times. Fiber helps you. It's just in the initial phases, you might want to back off the FODMAPs. Don't be having beans. Certain fruits scare me even. Still, I don't eat the prunes anymore. It's like, no thank you. I have them all up here. There's prunes right here. Run. They're FODMAP hell. And so are dates. No thank you. So what I focused on, low sugar. That took me a little bit to kick in. Everybody says it, like parasites and bad bacteria, they love sugar. And I'm on this opposite side where I'm like, high carb is the best, low fat is cool. So all the people that say sugar feeds parasites want you on a higher fat diet, avoiding all carbs pretty much, except like balanced people like Marcus Rothkranz, my hero. But for me, I've done high fat. I don't like it. It's very adrenal intensive. It's a stress. You're just cortisol spiking. You're not running on happy. It's just hormones. You're not getting the carbs. We need carbs. We love them. We function better on them. So I'm on a high carb diet, but adding in too much sweet fruits is feeding bad bacteria, whereas grains do not, at least when they're the pseudo grains, the buckwheats, the quinoas. You know, the body ecology diet, they allow quinoa and stuff. It's like, these don't seem to feed the bad bacteria like refined wheat would, or like maple syrup, or even honey. Too much fruit. So sugar is your bitch. Don't have too much of it. Focus on the raw leafy greens, the fiber and the grains. I'm having smoothies. That's mostly what I did. Buckwheat smoothies. I'm trying to sweeten it. I got some bullshit. Oh God, I just bought this. Sweet monk. I found some. It's monk fruit and vanilla flavored, French vanilla. Still barely tasted it, so this is weak. So while no, my diet isn't super delicious, I'm not gonna lie to you. The vegetable juice, that's fun times. Celery, lemon, beet, dill today. That's delicious. I eat 1 meal a day, so I break it with that. And then today, just a side rant. I was thinking my smoothies aren't the greatest. It's just like buckwheat and greens and the stevia and maca, and it's very kind of savory without the salty fun. It's not great. It's just barely sweet, and it's fake sweetness. So I was like, what else could I have? Like, what if I wanted to sit down and eat a meal, not an actual smoothie? And my fiance wife says, why don't you try oatmeal? And I was like, oats are delicious. You just soak them overnight, eat them raw. So I'm like, cool. So I was looking up some Reddit forums. I just wanted to see how little time can I get away soaking them. And some were saying like 10 minutes is fine. And then one asshole ruined my life in the comments. And he says, because everybody's just like, oh, these are great. I eat it with yogurt, just soak it for a bit. Yeah, raw is so much better. And this guy comes in, he says, I hate to tell you guys this, but you know they're not raw, right? Oats aren't raw. The rolled ones, they're steamed, totally cooked, and then raw, nothing. I was like, you asshole. I thought I was a raw vegan hippie. They're not raw. So what I'm doing, and you can already see this is a disaster waiting to happen, I soaked some raw oatmeal overnight, and there's wild blueberries in there, and then I put this entire bowl in my dehydrator to warm it up. It's not warm at all. It's ice cold. It's not working, but I'm cooking it at raw temperatures, even though it's not raw at all. But this is a cheat meal now. It's not health promoting. It's not even raw. So the major key with me rebuilding the microbiome, keeping the fat low so the sugar can enter your cells quickly and easily, and it's not lingering in your blood, feeding the bad bacteria and parasites that are keeping you down. They're demons, if anything. They look like demons. They control you. They think thoughts for you. They're like, oh, how about we try this today? How about a muffin? What do you think of that? And you go do it like a robot. You're being controlled. You're a puppet. Like, I should have sex today. Let's release our seed. What would happen? Bad things. You lose energy. Stop it. Parasite. Not today, demon boy. So keep the fat low. I have 1 tablespoon of flax seeds a day, just for some omega-3s and anti-inflammatory action and estrogen love. And then raw vegetables, grains, no sweetness ever. It's boring, but it's healthy and healing, and you'll live. 1 meal a day seems to be helping me a lot with that gas. So like, things are good. Try that, you'll live. You'll live. And when it comes to the Candida, there's 2 protocols for Candida. Most people go on the low carb approach because you have to starve it out, no sugar. Candida love the sugar, and that's why they're high in your blood. But like taking the antibiotics and stuff, it doesn't kill Candida, and then they overgrow like crazy. And that's a nightmare. So like, I think that's what I was dealing with for a little bit after the antibiotics, but then that finally came down on a low fat approach. So there's 2 sides. You can either go keto and have no sugar to feed the Candida, or you go high carb, low fat, and then the sugar exits the blood quicker. There's 2 viable excuses to live. I see people struggle on the high carb approach. It's like, especially fruit-based, I think the simple sugars are just, it's too much of a spike too quickly, and the Candida rage over it. They throw a mosh pit in your body. It's like immediate yes. Whereas the grains, they kind of like don't even look at it. They're like, it's buckwheat. I don't really want that today. So it's like, if you go high carb, grain-based, raw especially, you'll bore the Candida out of your body. They'll be bored. They'll leave. There's no nightclub action. They're just like, I'm out of here. He's not even feeding us sugar or fruit. So if I was suffering Candida, I would want to go high on the greens and the grains. No sweetness. Don't feed them their loving sugar. And then exercise more, and then try to kill some of them off with just some like herbal friendly. You don't have to go too harsh on it. Little wormwood or something. You don't have to. I'm curious about the you-know-what supplement that I'm not allowed to talk about. It's one of YouTube's things that if you say this word, we're punishing you forever. It sounds like, it rhymes with fiber pectin. Huh? So if you can find fiber pectin, I would want to try that sometime. It sounds fun. So I'm debating it. So this is just one approach to healing your microbiome coming from experience. A lot of people say like, oh, super high fiber and that's what feeds your beneficial bacteria, but you gotta go slow with it. Try the smoothies. Don't just be eating giant salads of harsh broccoli fiber and you're like, well, he said raw vegetables are good. Like, start with romaine lettuce, ease into some kale. Don't go like I'm having a giant 2-pound bowl of broccoli. It's delicious, but ease into it. I put broccoli in my smoothies, it's fine. But like, juice some of this stuff and don't go too hard on the sweets. So hopefully that helped somebody, and I might consider thumbing the video up at this point. That's cool. Some people would thumb this down, but I don't even think they're aware that it's because they once tried to give Bigfoot a gift. They left him a pineapple, but he realized that that was too sweet for his Candida forest lifestyle. No, it's mostly greens for Bigfoot, isn't it? Yeah, he's not a big sweet tooth guy. That's why you don't see him. He's swift. He's not out eating the things that you want. Oh, there's the mango tree. He's off in the caverns, eating the swamp greens, hidden away from society. Relax. Your pineapple gift. It's a joke. He'll never accept it. I'll accept Bitcoin. I'll leave after you subscribe for more.